Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Revelation 21. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride, adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. And God himself shall be with them and be their God.
Take the world. Take the world.
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. And the kingdom and dominion, and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven, shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. And all dominions shall serve and obey him. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. With thee also will I break in pieces man and woman, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen, and with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers. And I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith the Lord. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyest all the earth. And I will stretch out mine hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate forever, saith the Lord.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Gods never die.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners who may have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. And what I want to get into, all right, this afternoon, just some news, dealing with some world news, dealing with some local news, all right, and just going into prophecy, because as we can see, chaos is at the door. There's things happening abroad, and there's things happening here in America. We're going to get into, some things that's happening so we can be, up to speed of what's going on because we're here. Okay, and this is the duty of a watchman, to be on watch, all right, and to report back, so our people, the believers of this word can make themselves ready. Okay, so at the end of the day, prophecy, all right, is the main thing of the ministry. Okay, repentance, and prophecy. All right. That's why even if a brother can put that in Mark chapter 1, verses 14 and 15, and also Ezekiel 3 and 17, and I'm gonna get ready to cue this video up. This from RT News, and pretty much, because it's going into some world news. You got pretty much some intense, skirmishes going on between, those Israelis, okay, and those Palestinians, where people are being put to death, okay, and ultimately, this shows that those people in the land do not fulfill the prophecy of the true Israelites being in their land, because the nation will not learn war anymore, okay, according to prophecy. All right, so let's start off there. Let me share this. Get that up there. All right, so this is from the brother from the baller out there, GMS Virginia Island Straight Gate. Shalom Makim. How about you, Shabrak Thumb? Shalom Agwathian. How about you, Shabrak Thumb? This is Mark 1 and 14. It says, now after that John was put in prison, Yahweh Shai came into Galilee preaching the gospel of the kingdom of the Most High. Okay, verse 15. All right, it says, and saying, the time is fulfilled and the kingdom of the Most High is at hand. Repent ye and believe the gospel. And see, prophecy is fulfilling itself. Okay, all prophecy is beginning to fulfill itself in the earth, man. These last, major prophecies that had to happen before we come into, all right, the kingdom of the Most High, which is the kingdom of Israel under Yahweh Shai, okay, which is the Third World War and this MOTB. All right, we're seeing, all right, the elites, push towards their way, towards war and the sea hip. Okay, well, these things are being fulfilled. All right, and as prophets, we are meant to what? Report these things, man. Ezekiel 3 and 17. It says, son of man, I have made thee a watchman. It's the brother GMS Shah Lakama. This Ezekiel 3 and 17 says, son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word in my mouth and give them warning from me. Okay, so as we see these things, happening in the earth, we're ordered, to speak about these things, man. Brothers can get that in Isaiah 62, verse 5 and 6, I want to say. But we're ordered, okay, to speak on these things, man. All right, because we don't have a date of when Yahweh Shai will return, but he left us the circumstances and the scenarios of what will be going on in the earth. Okay, so let's go here. I'm gonna cue this up in the RT News. We'll play the first. I think it's like the first 10 minutes where I really want to get. Okay, and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna let this play. Yeah, brother got that from this brother GMS Shah Lakama. All right, this is on Isaiah 62 and 6. It says, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem. And see, it's the Lord's doing. We didn't make ourselves watchmen. We didn't, grow up, thinking that we would be doing this. Okay. Man's going to the Lord. The Lord, put this, all right, task upon us in the spirit to be watchmen. Okay. Lord set up watchmen. You see? It says, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence and give him no rest. Verse 7, till he establish, until he make Jerusalem, the real Jerusalem, a praise in the earth. Okay, the real Jerusalem, man. All right, because what's going over there now is a fraud. Okay, now I'm gonna let it play. It's gonna, give an overview of what's going on. Then it's gonna go to the first segment dealing with what's going on over there in the Gaza, okay, Charlotte region, which is our land according to the promise given to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's our land, okay, and we're gonna go back to that land, all right, in glory, okay. Not just mere mortals. We're going back to that land as immortals, man. Okay. So
as funerals are held for Palestinians killed by Israeli airstrikes, RT sits down with Gaza's Ministry of Health director to talk about the humanitarian crisis unfolding in the territory.
We have to allow also the medical supplies, equipment, and medications to get inside Gaza at once to stop a humanitarian disaster.
The UK's top court sides with British energy giant Shell and rejects Nigeria's pollution claims over a 2011 oil leak, saying the case is closed and that submissions should have been made before a contested legal deadline. Ahead of Turkish presidential elections, a top candidate withdrawals after a controversial tape appears online just days before people go to the polls. And in a further boosting of relations after many strained years, the Iranian finance minister visits Saudi Arabia, his first trip there since the restoration of diplomatic ties between the Gulf powers. Live from Moscow, this is RT. My name's Ewan O'Neill, and 30 minutes of news and views starts now. Thousands of mourners in Gaza have attended the funeral procession of a Palestinian militant commander who was killed in Israeli airstrikes. Well, as you can see, a massive crowd came together to voice their anger and called for a response to the attacks. The commander and two other Palestinian Islamic Jihad group leaders were declared as direct targets of Israel's airstrike. However, the bombing campaign has seen widespread collateral damage and death among the civilian population. Well, the IDF attacks have taken the lives of 29 Palestinians, including 6 children, and has left more than 90 wounded too. Civilians have started the process of mourning the loss of their loved ones. We heard the harrowing tale of a father and fiance of a young woman killed during a night attack.
One of the most difficult days of life is the separation of loved ones. There's no resistance to the Israeli occupation on my part. I'm not a resistance fighter. We do not carry weapons. We are citizens who must live safe. They stole her dream of marriage. I want my voice to reach to the last person so that we can file a complaint in international forums. The victims are 2 innocent girls who were martyred while they were sleeping.
Our dream was to hold the wedding ceremony, an unconventional ceremony. We decided to make the wedding ceremony something beautiful, something that does not happen in Gaza. Dania's dream was to complete her studies and work in a bank after graduation. The occupation destroyed her. Everything is different here. We're civilians. If this event had happened in a foreign country, there would have been a huge uproar.
While also in the last number of days, more than 600 rockets have been fired from Gaza.
So as you can see, and if a brother could put Jeremiah 50, verses 14 and 15, okay, and if a brother can put the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 4, and let's get the book of Psalm, chapter 140, verse 2, okay? Because let's get the book of Psalms 140, verses 1 and 2. Psalms 140, verses 1 and 2, and Revelation 6 and 4, and Jeremiah 50, verses 14 and 15. Now, as you can see, you know, they're killing civilians, man. Okay, the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, man. Okay, which is nothing but an extension, okay, of the American war machine in the Middle East, man. All right, because their weaponry comes from where? America. Okay, their finances for the military comes from where? America. Okay, and you see, they're killing people in their sleep. Civilians are being killed in their sleep, and there's no uproar because one thing about Esau's media, it has desensitized the world to the death of the citizens and the civilians in the Middle East. Okay, 100,000 Iraqis could die right now, and no one would blink. You know, because the American media, okay, the global media, the media of the West especially, has desensitized everyone to the death, you know, of civilians in the Middle East, man. Okay, so here it is. People are asleep in their beds and they're getting they're being targeted in the airstrikes, man. Okay, it's just open season over there, man, and there's no uproar. Okay, now let's go here. All right, the brother got this first. Hold on. All right, let's go here to Revelation 6:4. This is brother Bayan Yashala. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, okay, and power was given to him that sat thereon. And this is Esau Edom in his power structure, man. Okay, and his rulership and his authority. Okay, what scripture I have seen servants upon horses. Okay, he's that red servant on the horse, man, in a position of power. Okay, it says, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. All right, and there was given unto him a great sword. Okay, and there was given unto him a great sword, and this is what you see this man doing through his military is what? Take peace from the earth. Okay, and the IDF is just terrorizing them people over there, man. Okay, they way more equipped militarily than those nations, and they just overkill over there, man. Okay, this is the brother Bayan Yasha'Allah, Psalms 140:1. It says, deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man, preserve me from the violent man. Okay, this is just a violent, evil man. Okay, with the blessing of the sword, and he's terrorizing the earth. Okay, Esau Edom was just terrorizing the earth, you know, but then he'll put on like he just big humanitarian. Because when we play the rest of the video, they're going to go into the rockets that was shot, you know, at the Israelis, you know, in which these devils so wicked, they'll send, you know, operatives over there, you know, agents over there to shoot back into over there in the land of Israel, which, you know, will justify them doing an airstrike, man. Okay, these people got these little rocket launchers, and you know, the Palestinians ain't got no capability to deal with those Israelis. Okay, but eventually it's gonna be some nations that's gonna step in that are okay gonna deal all right with them Israelis over there, man. Okay, mainly Iran and Russia. Okay, and it says, deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man, preserve me from the violent man. Verse 2, which imagine mischiefs in their heart, continually are they gathered together for war. Okay, and this is all this devil has done in his rulership, is be at war with the earth. This man is always at war with somebody in the earth, man. You know, on every level. Physical war, okay, spiritual war, psychological war, man. There's always some type of war that this man, you know, silent wars. All right, this man has been in perpetual war within his rulership. All right, this is the brother GMS Shah, Lakamah, Jeremiah 50:14 said, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows. Okay, she have sinned against the Lord. Okay, so it says spare no arrows, these nations are going to unload on America, man. And it's going to say why. All right. When you jump to verse 15, it says, shout against her round about. She have given her hand. Her foundations are falling. Her walls are thrown down. And the Lord is going to have America defenseless against this onslaught of ICBM missiles, man. Okay. Why? For it is the vengeance of the Lord. See, this is the Lord's taking vengeance on America through these nations, man. Okay. Take vengeance upon her. All right. As she, let me see. Oh, come on, man. Get out here. Hold on. All right. It says, take vengeance upon her as she have done. Okay. If she have done, do unto her. So as America has been a military bully in the earth, all right, and the IDF is nothing but an extension, okay, of the American war machine in the Middle East. That's why the IDF, okay, the Israeli Defense Force, is nothing but a military state to pretty much, bully those nations over there, okay, in the East, man, in the Middle East, This is Isaiah 14:5. It said, the Lord had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. Okay, verse 16. This is brother Bayan Yasha'Allah. Isaiah 14:6. Salakia. It said, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual. Hold on. Damn. All right. It said, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. Okay. So America, all right, has been the bully. These Edomites in general have just been the bully with their sword in the earth. Well, the Lord's going to turn it around where these nations are going to be a bully unto them. Okay. Now we're going to see if they try to justify this wickedness by making it seem that they're defending themselves, okay, from those Palestinians, man. And he's going to use the same tactics with us, man. And that's why you got to know the devil, how he move, okay? He's going to present it as if we drew some type of first blood. He's going to do some type of event where we will make it seem as if we are a major threat to them, okay, and that we drew some type of first blood. And then he's going to roll. All right. The devil used the same formula, man, just different places and circumstances, man. Okay. So I'm going to let the rest of it play. All right. They try to justify what they're doing over there, man.
Towards Israel, with one hitting a 4-story residential building. One person was killed and 6 others injured in the attacks. Our Middle East correspondent, Maria Fanoshna, has been following developments on the ground.
Fighting between Israel and Gaza-based Palestinian Islamic Jihad militant group continues. The confrontation entered its 3rd day with casualties from both sides. Red alerts and sirens were heard all across Israel's southern communities bordering Gaza, and it is happening right now. As I can see, I received notifications from a special application downloaded on my phone aimed at notifying the public here in Israel about coming rockets. And just recently, there was a direct hit in the central city of Rehovot. A rocket launched from Gaza partially damaged the residential building. A 70-year-old man died from wounds. He became the first victim from the Israeli side in the 3 days of the operation. We are expecting right now to see Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu discussing this situation with the country's military and intelligence leadership and commanders, and to take a decision how to respond to this attack. IDF says more than 600 rockets and mortars have so far been fired from the Gaza Strip to Israel. Most of those that were able to enter the Israeli territory were intercepted by Israeli air defense system known as Iron Dome. But we also hear from Israeli military sources that there were more than 100 so-called failed launches when missiles sent from Gaza landed in Gaza. And earlier, Israel claimed that one such launch killed 4 civilians, including a 10-year-old boy, but this information cannot be independently verified. That barrage of rockets sent from the Gaza Strip to Israel was a response to IDF's earlier activity. On Thursday, Israel hit a building in the Gaza Strip, killing the Palestinian Islamic Jihad deputy commander responsible for rockets. And before that, Israel also killed 3 other top officials within the PIJ, including one responsible for organizing attacks all throughout the West Bank. Quite significant figures. The IDF says more than 160 locations have a total been targeted in Gaza, according to Israel. All of them were used by the Palestinian Islamic Jihad militants for either manufacturing, storing, or launching rockets. For now, 28 people have been killed in 3 days from the Palestinian side. Israel claims most of them were militants, but Palestinian sources insist that they were mostly civilians, women and children among them. The international community urged warring sides to de-escalate, to stop tensions, and we just recently heard a joint call from Egypt, Jordan, France and Germany for an immediate ceasefire that ends Israeli actions against Gaza. We hear also that negotiations between Palestinian Islamic Jihad and Israel have been continued for many hours, with Egypt mediating. We were able to talk to Egyptian sources close to this process, and they told RT that no breakthrough has been achieved so far. And at the same time, we hear from Israel that it will continue to bombard Gaza until Palestinian Islamic Jihad stops its attacks. So we may expect more escalations in the coming hours.
And that's what these devils do. You know, if a brother can put Jeremiah 49 verses 20 and 21. And see, that's what these devils do. You know, they make it seem as if the other side is the aggressor, you know, to justify them, you know, doing what they want to do anyway. Okay? That's how these devils get down, man. So, you know, you got pretty intense skirmishes going on over there right now between, you know, the Israelis, you know, and those militants, you know, of Palestine in the Gaza area. And, you know, we'll see what it leads into, because ultimately this is going to be the hotbed of World War III. You know, what's Russia doing in Ukraine, you know, that's going to play a part in it as well, you know. But their powder keg, which is just going to explode, is going to be over here in this region, man. Okay? And those Gaza militants, all right, they are, you know, a team of security guards compared to the Israeli military force, man. Okay? But it's going to come a time when Hezbollah, when we start seeing Hezbollah getting involved, okay, then we're going to see some shake. Okay? And when Iran getting involved, you can get ready, man. The earth going to shake, because then Russia, then America going to have to come in, man. Okay? And then China going to come in, all right? North Korea, you see? Which it's all explained in prophecy, man. So we, you know, we're watching these things a lot of times. They, you know, get intense and they die out, you know. But hey, we watch, you know, just in case, you know, it gets taken there, man. You know, it might be took there, man. Okay, and we just gonna watch for it. All right, yes, brother. Let's see, but brother could just get that Jeremiah 49 and 20 and verse 21. Okay, well, I queue up. I'm gonna queue up this other. I'm gonna queue up this other video. Okay, dealing with what's going on over here. You know. Yep. Just the brother Bayan Yashahala, Jeremiah 49:20. It said, therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord. And see, this is the Lord's counsel. This is his plan in the earth. This is his will being performed in the earth. Okay, the counsel of Yahweh Bashem Al Shah. All right, it's a heavy statement to open the priest, to open up a you know, to open up with. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord. Okay, which means this is the Lord's idea that's being played out. It says that he have taken against Edom, and all this is going to lead to the fall of the wicked Edomite empire that runs the earth, man. This is a phase of the Lord taking these Edomites out of power. And his purpose, that he have purpose against the inhabitants of Teman, okay? Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. And that's these Israelis, man. You know, and they're going to overstep their bounds, and they're going to get cute, you know, and want to try to go with against Hezbollah and Iran, and you know they're gonna get cute, you know, and that retaliation is gonna be overwhelming to where America gonna have to get in, man. Okay, which is gonna, as it says, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Okay, going down. Mr. Brother GMS. Shar Lakama. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Okay, and what these Israelis is doing, okay, is drawing, or you go in the Hebrew, one of the definitions to drag. All right, they're going to drag this into World War III. All right, the last World's War, in which Yahweh Shah will enter the scene. All right, and then that land of Israel is going to be, okay, cleansed through nukes. Okay, it's gonna be renovated. Those people that's over there, those small hats and those other heathens that are in there, okay, they're all right. They're going to be evicted through missiles. Okay, and that earth is going, and that land is going to be cleansed for us to come back, man. Okay. Jeremiah 49:21 said the earth is moved at the noise of their fall, which is going to be through nukes. Okay, like the brother, you know, daughter, I had the vision of the earth breaking. Okay, that's them nukes. All right, hitting the surface of the earth, man. Mainly in America, you know, and some over here in the land of Israel, not land, man, to cleanse it, to get ready for its true inhabitants, man, its true people, the true Israelites, man. Okay. It says the earth is moved at the noise of their fall, at the crowd, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. Okay, over there close to Egypt, man. All right, which is not far from their land. Okay, it's gonna be a loud, hey, the nukes going off and hitting that land. It's gonna be a loud noise. It's gonna move. All right. It's gonna move the earth, and it's gonna evict, all right, those frauds over there in our land, man. You know, we're gonna be delivered. Yahweh Shai gonna come, and he's gonna mop the floor with all these heathens. Okay, we'll be in the chariots, you see, and eventually we're gonna come down into our land and put these heathens to work, building our land, building our kingdom from scratch, man. Okay. With precious stones, gold, silver, brass, all right, the wood from Lebanon, okay? So now I want to segue here, all right? I want to go into, all right, the aspect of what's going on at the border. You know, Title 42 ended yesterday, and pretty much something that was in place, you know, during the pandemic, you know, where pretty much you could at the border, they was able just to turn around immigrants, you know, at their discretion. All right, there's discretion of the Border Patrol authorities. But now that's being lifted, and now you have a potential of 700,000, okay, immigrants, you know, flooding the borders, man. You know, which you have some reportedly to be already in El Paso. Okay, so let's let this play. All right, and we'll go into it.
Title 42 has officially concluded. The move is expected to send over 700,000 illegal aliens into our country. We have no idea what kind of diseases these migrants are bringing into our country, but the Biden regime could, of course, care less. On top of it all, Chinese migrants are breaking into the U.S. as well. According to Michael Yan, 531 Chinese nationals are in U.S. custody currently. Over half of those are men in a fighting age. And joining us to discuss is combat correspondent Michael Yan, who, as we've been bringing you his reporting, has been traveling up from Panama to the Darien Gap. And now I understand that you're in El Paso, Texas currently. Correct, Michael?
I am. Yesterday, I was out on the border in New Mexico and on the Texas side. Did not go into Mexico again yet, and was out on the streets of El Paso talking with aliens that are on the streets and also local residents who are incredibly upset about some things that are going on. And right now, I just got this message. I'm going to read it right now. Just got something from Border Patrol that the Tucson sector is at 274% capacity right now. And with about 28,500 are in custody right now. Most of those in custody will be released. So basically, Border Patrol has told me this morning that they are flushing the system. Flushing means just pushing a lot of people through that aren't being properly annotated. They're not being properly put into the system. But the reality is this is a weaponized migration. You and I have talked about this when I'm down in Panama, and this is the other side of it, landing here. This is basically the beaches of Normandy with the huge amounts of people coming in all across. You know, have you noticed we don't hear about California much? We don't hear about California at all very much. I mean, occasionally it's in the news, but mostly we hear about Texas. But you know, I'm up and down the Texas border pretty often as well, like as much as I go to Darien. And there's just every night, regardless of what's happening now, it's a nightly flood and a daily flood. This goes on day after day, year after year.
And you're saying we don't hear about California because the illegal aliens are being driven to the Texas border. Is that, just to clarify, is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure. You know, I was talking about that yesterday with some journalists, and we were discussing, why don't we hear about California that much? Is it because that California makes it more difficult to report? I just don't know the answer. But yeah, numerous journalists were talking about it yesterday. It did cross my mind because it crosses my mind as well that New Mexico doesn't pop up in the news much, even though I go to New Mexico every time I come to El Paso, because El Paso is right on the New Mexico border, and a lot of the crossing happens on the New Mexico side, and a lot here on El Paso side as well. The streets of El Paso, you've got aliens living on the streets that are hacking into people's wiring for their outdoor lights and stuff to charge their cell phones. In other words, the aliens are charging their cell phones after hacking into people's electricity and messing up their circuitry and that sort of thing. You've got people, aliens, sleeping in front of residents' doors, literally in front of their doors, because it's the most convenient place to sleep. So that you have, we talked with residents yesterday that often cannot get into their homes or out of their homes because people are sleeping on their doorstep, right? And so in one area of downtown El Paso, the local residents put lava rocks there so they couldn't sleep on them. And the aliens replied by putting feces and other things on their doorsteps. I mean, this is the sort of just sheer aggression that you see a lot from a lot of the people coming in.
So, Michael, you traveled around the southern border yesterday, as you said, and you had a brush up, though, with CBP.
So, the migrants are just, the immigrants are just pulling up, okay, sleeping on the front step, okay, rewiring, to charge their phone. Like, what the hell is going on? The devil, all right, has his hand in this heavy, man. All right. And you can best believe that there's a lot of government operatives that's within those, as he said, it's a weaponized migration. Okay. 700,000. It'd be easily to get hundreds of thousands of, mercenaries, specialists. Okay. Proxy militaries, you know, and can he just blame it on, that these just regular refugees. All right. But hey, ain't no telling what the devil is finna do. And if you remember from the last purge forever, it was dealing with Issachar, and that border that everyone was trying to go to was in El Paso, man. Okay, where the purge didn't stop, they just kept purging after the purge. Okay, El Paso's on fire. So, we watching these things and we know that this devil has his hands in it somewhere, man. Okay, he can very easily, if these people cross the border, these mercenaries can come with nothing, but then they got certain spots they can go to and get the arms and pretty much be galvanized. Okay, giving them marching orders, man. Okay, because we know Issachar, all right, basically just don't be wilding like that. Issachar, down here's a lot of Issachar, all right, and they come to work. Now I can't speak, it's niggas, in every tribe, but Issachar just don't be wilding like that. Like Issachar just be trying to work, pretty much trying to make a living, get in a better situation. Okay. But there's no telling what this devil, has planned, with this so-called, flood the borders. Okay. So just like the brother said, that's exactly right, brother. These next few months gonna be interesting, man. So we'll see.
Yourself, you filmed that interaction. Let's take a look at it and then talk about it. Take a look.
Hell, bro. What? How you doing, sir? Nothing's going on. I'm part of the press.
Yeah, that's nice. Did you get permission to come down here with PIO?
No.
Did you read the signs down there that say private property?
Are you
Because we are bodies at the end of the fence, and we all have IDs. You have your ID. Do you have an ID, sir? Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Do you have an ID with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Just east or west
You know the bodies at the end of the fence. What are you doing down there? May I ask what
I'm
you're
a
doing?
reporter. That's what I do.
Oh, well, doesn't mean you can go down wherever you want, right? There's 8 signs that say
You don't
private
even yell at
property.
me. You're a public servant. You work for
Okay.
me. You watch your tone. All right?
So, Michael, the CBP officer, he blocked you all in. You think he was hiding something. What do you think he was hiding?
It was strange because I've been to that spot many times, and that's on the New Mexico side. It's right, so it's near the end of the wall, and it was not restricted territory. I didn't see all the signs he's talking about. By the way, we looked for him on the way out, and we happened to be actually with an Idaho Congress lady was with us. I think when that border patrolman, who was obviously, you can see him, he's quite emotional, and he was quite aggressive with his vehicle, and we were on public access road. And notice his accent is obviously not New Mexico or Texas. It's something that sounds like possibly Northeast. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's new to the area. But in any case, I've been to that spot many times. I was with Antonio Aguero, who knows this part of the border extremely well, and I've been out here with him before. He goes to that spot all the time. He's never had that happen there before. So I don't know what to think of it. There was definitely a coyote, or not a coyote, but a spotter. A Mexican spotter was definitely watching us because he went up to the top of the hill and got on the radio. And there's other parts of this video. I should actually publish them because it was just too long. I couldn't get it all to go up on Twitter. But the police, the border patrolman was talking on his private cell phone and that sort of thing, which was quite strange. I don't know what was going on. It was very strange because, I'm on the border a lot. I've just never seen that sort of aggression from Border Patrol.
I'm just curious. Let me ask you, Michael, because you also focus on the NGO aspect of this and the amount of government money that's flowing to facilitate this migration crisis. Have you noticed an uptick since I know you just got back to the US border, the southern border, but have you noticed an increase of NGO activity around our southern border to help facilitate moving these illegals into our country?
Well, that ecosystem is quite severe. Like the IOM or the OIM that we talked about down in Panama is obviously up here as well, right? And then there's the Catholic Charities is really serious up here. I've been to Catholic Charities places in Mexico and also up and down Texas. Like yesterday, we were at the Sacred Hearts Catholic Church, and which is right at that area where aliens sleep on people's doorsteps and don't let people in because the aliens congregate around that Sacred Hearts Catholic Church. But interestingly, the church doesn't let them in for services. What's that church really doing? Anybody's guess. But I can tell you this: Catholic Charities is not Catholic, and that's not a charity. That's clearly a human. I mean, that's a smuggling operation. And there's many others like Norwegian Refugee Council, the highest that we've talked about before, OIM, of course, and just a long list. And some of them, like that group right there, I had never encountered them before, but we immediately, others know exactly who they are. And in fact, they knew those two people. But these people are the ones that do what do they call it? Hugs, not borders or something like that. Or anyway, it's something like that. And they have like gay people kissing each other through the fence and stuff like that. They're just, another let's say information operation. That's quite clear. And interestingly, that lady, I didn't catch it on video, but as she walked away, she called Antonio, she called him a racist. And I joked with Antonio. I was like, you should have said, I'm not racist, I'm gay. He's not gay, but we're just, gotta have some fun out there. But these are just, liberal wind up robots, these two people right here.
So yeah, I know. I just thought that was interesting. There's a lot of wickedness going on, as you can see. Moles kissing each other through the fence, man. There's so much weirdo, strange activity. It's also an opportunity for Esau to separate, children from parents, for his trafficking operations, his sacrifices. It's just a bunch of wickedness, man. He can blame, a new, pestilence on the migrants. It's just so much that he can do. There's so much he can spin off, this whole ordeal. So just like the brother said, man, the next few months, will be interesting because we know this devil, has a lot of wickedness because before, Title 42 was dropped, the WHO, okay, the HWO, all right, pretty much declared the end of the C-19, okay, was just the reason Title 42 was created, okay? So they declared the end of it, opened the borders, and now here we are, okay? So, hey, you brothers, you sisters in that area, be circumspect, okay? If a brother can post that, we'll end it there. Let's get that Ephesians 5, 15, and 16, I say we'll end it there. All right, just be mindful, especially you in that area. Be mindful in these next few months, especially, you sisters. If you by yourself, be very, strategic, how you move, stay prayed up. We're going to keep praying for each other in these times, man. Just be very strategic, how you move, especially, with all this going on, especially if you're in that area, just a brother Bayan Yashala, Ephesians 5 and 15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, understanding what's going on, is watching the local news, watching, brothers, with these in the news updates, and just seeing what's going on. Be mindful of what's going on in your area, circumspect, watching carefully, around you, verse 16, it says, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Okay, bad times, man. Okay, so this devil is up to something. We're going to continue to watch and report, on our end, Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters, be extremely, circumspect, So, let's get this brother GMS Sharlock of my 1 Peter 4:7. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. Okay, watch unto prayer. Okay, sober, level-headed. All right, watching. So we're gonna continue to watch as much as we can on our end. You brothers, you see in the articles, or anything that you want to send. We get into any videos or whatever. We're gonna get into it. Everybody, all hands on deck. We all watching and seeing what's going on, man. Constantly in prayer, and also in faith. On the flip side, this is, we good. Lord, the hedge. This is why within this grace period, we've been constantly separated from this society. Constantly tapping in, to our power. Becoming more obedient. All right, and the Lord is He's all right, going to protect His people, man. Matter of fact, let's end on that, man. Let's end, with scripture to comfort. Let's get Psalms 46:1. Because as we talk about these evil times, we got to comfort one another with the scriptures, man. Okay, so let's get that Psalms 46:1. And we'll end it there. All right, goddamn devil, man. Yep. The Wala Akia, this is your brother Bayan Yashala. This is Psalms 46:1. The Most High, all right, is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Okay, a very present help in trouble. Okay, so Yahweh Shema Shai is going to be highly activated in the times of chaos for His believers, man. Isaiah 41:14. Fear not, thy worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, said the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Okay, so we have help from on high in these times, man. Okay, the Lord is going to intervene. The Lord is going to showcase His power. Okay, the worse it get, the more power the Lord is going to show on behalf of His people. So as we do our end, as we, do what's required on our end, the Lord is going to do what He promised on His end. Okay, so Lord will, you brothers and you sisters will edify. Till next time I say Shalom, Kwam Yashala, a Bible, DTA soon, Shalom.